Hi, my name is Ed Stefanko. I'm a trainer with the BRP Quality Service Program. Your dealership has hired me to work with you over the next 12 months. And what we're doing is kind of concentrated in the service area on the three major areas of opportunity. Increased labor hours, increased part sales, increased accessory sales. Typically I'm concentrating specifically in the service area, but today I'm going to branch out a little bit and tie together the sales department and the service department to make them a very good selling tool. I've seen some very effective processes in this industry, and that's what I want to do, is key on the best of the best. The sale doesn't stop once the customer agrees to purchase their new vehicle. And let's just say it's a side-by-side for simplicity's sake. Customer agrees to a purchase on the new vehicle, and you start gathering the paperwork and build up the deal folder and take it either to the sales manager or to the finance manager for the next step. The question is, what do you do next as the salesperson? That's the focus of this. The first thing, let's talk a little bit about the finance manager. I highly recommend that the finance manager do a soft turn with the customer and greet them. So what they might do after they've reviewed the folder, they've entered in the information in the DMS if they need to, and come out to the customer with the folder and introduce themselves. And the conversation might go something like this. Hi, my name is Ed. I'm the finance manager here at the dealership. Congratulations on your new purchase. Is this the first side-by-side you've ever purchased? Well, great. I know what you're going to do. Love the new BRP Defender. Great vehicle. What I want to do is, I'm sure you want to make this have this process as quick as possible. And one of the things I wanted to do to ensure that happens is I printed out the information that I received on the deal folder, and I want to make sure everything's correct. So when I do the titling and print the paperwork, I do it right the first time, which will save us some time. Fair enough? If I could, just to save some time, would it be all right? Can we just review the information? Is this how you're going to title your vehicle? Are you going to put it in both names? And your address is? What's the best phone number to reach you? Typically cell is what works best. Okay, that's correct. How about your email address? We always like to have a good email address in case there is a service bulletin or a recall on your unit and we know how we can get in touch with you. What's the best email to address to do that? Okay, great. What I'm going to do right now is get this information prepared so we can do the paperwork. Let me just ask you a few questions. You said this is your first side-by-side. Are you going to use it primarily for leisure, or use it for ranch or farming? Okay, it is a great commercial vehicle to use that. How are you going to use it? Or do you have cattle? Do you have crops that you're going to be working with? Are you going to be doing much hauling with it? Do you do much towing with it? You do much work where you do some dragging of tree trunks out of the fields? What the questions are is just pick a list of questions that will tell you more about the application and how they're going to use it, so that can give you some ideas as to the products and services that may be appropriate for this customer. When you wrap that up, you go to the next step and say, our goal here at the dealership is to be your long-term supplier, to take care of your investment long-term. As a result, what we want to do is make sure that you feel comfortable the next time you come here and you know some people's faces. And typically what you come back here is for your service. So what we want to do is introduce you to our parts department and our service department so that you know where they are, have some familiar faces, and you can talk to them about your long-term needs. Would that be okay? At that point, with the finance manager or the salesperson, whoever is most convenient for you, will take them to the parts department. Once they get to the parts department, the parts manager or the counter person will talk to the customer about their new unit. Salesperson will introduce them. Jim, this is Mr. and Mrs. Smith. They just purchased their first BRP Defender. They have a ranch just north of here. They're going to be using it on their ranch for business purposes. One of the things I wanted to let you know, Jim, their unit did not come with a roof. So I want you to, if you could, take a few minutes and give them some options regarding their roof, and also windshield and back window. They do a fair amount of towing, and they have to pull stumps out of the fields, things like that. One of the other things you might want to just give them some options are, and tell them what their options would be for a winch, if you could. What you've done is kind of passed all the information on that you've learned during the sales process and passed it on to the parts person, who can help sell the value and the benefits of the accessories and find the ones that will be best for their application. At that point, at the end of this conversation, you'll have a pretty good idea of those products and services the customer is interested. as far as the parts person, I know the one question is, how do I close the business? And if nothing else works for you, always try this. Okay, it sounds like, well, here are your options on the roof and the windshield and the rear window, and the winch will be this. Which of these items do you want to take care of today? A very non-confrontational close. Gather that information. That'll be information that'll be important to get to the finance office. Next, you'll take them over to the service department, and as you're walking them over there, again, we want to take care of your unit for you long term and take care of your investment. This is Ed. He is one of our service advisors, and he will walk you through the process, tell you a little bit more about your unit, its operation, things to look for, and talk a little bit about the long-term maintenance and to keep the vehicle running smooth and operating full-time on your ranch. Hi, my name is Ed. I'm one of the service advisors. Congratulations on your new purchase. Is this the first side-by-side you've ever purchased? Oh, it is great. Well, you picked the right one. The BRP Defender is the market leader. I think that I know that you'll enjoy it. Let me just ask you a couple of questions. How do you typically drive it? You're using it for agricultural uses. Do you do more on rocky surfaces or in mud or dirt? Where will you be doing hauling? The reason I'm asking is just to get an idea as to what you should expect as far as tires and traction. Well, great. That gives me a good idea of what you're doing. Since this is your first side-by-side, let me just tell you a little bit about the maintenance program and what the requirements are. BRP recommends a 30-hour maintenance. It's just a basic maintenance where we're going to be changing the oil, changing the air filter if it's dirty. That's a basic one. The next interval will be at 100 hours. After that, it'll be at 150 hours and then 200 hours. Again, one of the things you should look at, depending on how you drive, tires, brakes, those are all things that we will look at when you come in for service. When a customer comes in for service, we do what's called a vehicle inspection report. It's kind of like when you go to the doctor and have a physical. We look the vehicle over, see if it's operating within specification. If it is, we tell you that, give you a green light, you're ready to go. When something starts to fall down to the lower end of the specifications, we inform you of that so that you can plan ahead as to when you would like to take care of it. So as an example, if the brakes are brand new, they're usually at 10 millimeters, we recommend replacing them somewhere between 2 and 3 for obvious reasons as far as safety, to make sure you still have a good stopping ability. But the other thing is, if they wear too thin, they'll wear into the rotors, which will cause additional damage and cost you more money to take care of. When we get to that point, we'll tell you about those things so that you can make a decision of either to fix it now or try to wait till your next service. Lastly, if we come across anything in your unit that looks like it's a safety issue, we're going to highlight that and bring it to your attention. It might be that your tires are below the minimum wear, and we do to mention that to you because we don't want you coming down a steep hill or losing traction, something that would put you in an unsafe position. We do that complimentary every time you come in for service. Just so that you know, where you check the oil is here. Of course, the light switch is here. If you take a look, and this is how you raise your back bed on this. Whatever items that are on their unit, just make them aware of it. It'll kind of supplement the work that the salesperson obviously would have done during their presentation. Lastly, you just kind of summarize it and say, one of the other things that just let you know, and some of the commercial people purchases appreciate this, we have a prepaid maintenance program. What that does is that you prepay all your maintenance, lock in at today's prices. It is discounted typically after the third service. You paid for it, and the rest of it's for free. A lot of commercial applications like to use that because then the ranch hand or somebody else can just bring in the unit and drop it off. Don't have to worry about bringing money, a check, or credit card to pay for it. But that's something they'll give you an option when you get into the finance office. Lastly, one of the things that another option a lot of customers look into is extended warranty. If you're going to keep this unit long term, you well maintain it, it's going to operate very well. But sometimes, especially electronics and electrical issues may develop on the program. If it does, having an extended warranty will limit your liability in those areas. Again, the finance department will talk to you about the options. It's very specific regarding the model that you're talking about. Again, those are just a couple of things you might want to consider. Again, congratulations on your purchase. I know that you're going to love it and enjoy it. Here's my card. Feel free to call me at any time if you have any questions. We're here to take care of you and your new investment long term. At that point, you take the customer back to the finance office. Now, what you've done is you've set up opportunities for sales in parts with accessories and in service on extended warranties and prepaid maintenance programs. But let's also think about those are all nice for us, but what's the value to the customer? The customer has become more familiar with the dealership. They see your commitment to taking care of their investment long term. You've given them options which could well save them money and protect their investment long term. If you've done a good job, if you show them the value, they'll make the purchase. If you don't show them the value, they won't. So it's kind of up to you in each of those departments to do a job and do it well. That's kind of the summary about what to do with your customer and do an introduction to service and to parts. Again, my name is Ed Stefanko. People always ask me, how do you pronounce that? And I always just tell them Ed. My phone number is 817-896-3183. That's 817-896-3183. Remember, I work for you. BRP may pay my paycheck, but I work for you and everyone at the dealership. If you have any questions, call me. I look forward to working with you for the balance of the year. Take care and have a wonderful day.